Big dog.
There it is. Let me ask you guys. Beatles, Stones. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
All in.
Beatles.
Fuck you. Don't care.
Nice.
All in.
It is.
That's you, pal.
I will call in. Too much for that. You're in.
Anybody else? Just me and you? Yeah. That's it? Hot right?
That's it.
Trip queens.
Nice. Oh. Ladies. 3 ladies.
Nice hand.
Finally.
Nice.
Fucking finally.
Let's see what he's got. Let's see what he's got.
Yeah, let's see what's
I
got.
have nothing. I have 5 spades.
Got the flush.
Yes,
Flesh.
He's a fucking asshole. I'm not gonna relax. I said you're an asshole, Peter. What are you standing with 7 dudes suited? With a fucking rainbow rag flop.
Alright, 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 alright. Alright, 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 alright. I never listen, I'm gonna listen. I wanna listen to the drums roll.
Well, what do we have? 77 straight shows with a funny open?
The streak had to end at some point.
I thought the streak
What
was
was
at,
that?
I thought the streak was at 4, to be honest.
So the one day I'm like, oh man, I don't have an open. Blake, what can you come up with? Like a funny movie clip or something.
And that's what he came
I
with.
mean, under pressure in the moment, yeah.
Well, what's fun? Where was the funny?
Well,
like, do you have to watch the whole movie and then say, that was funny?
To begin with, I Love You Man is a very, very good movie. Not that it means anything. Probably my top 3 or 5. And then just a little bit of a taste of audio
from you?
later.
Taking I Love You Man thing?
Where we may play some Dude Perfect audio later where it's just like random question like, mountains or beach? And
Okay.
I thought of Paul Rudd.
I had that 20-second
Dude
Dude Perfect thing where they were asking random questions.
We could have played that.
That was funny.
Then play it for your break.
Your break.
Now it's my break.
It is now that you just poo-poo on my suggestion, so I'm not going to help anymore. It's all you.
All right, let's re-rack.
That was not funny.
It was not funny. That's okay,
And it was
though.
like a wait. It was like
next-
45 seconds, and it's just littered with profanity.
And
I don't
for
need that.
Monday's viewer mail, I think we'll spend about 20 minutes reading emails from people who say "I Love You, Man" is their favorite movie.
Oh my God!
20 minutes, he says.
Yeah, I mean at least.
I bet we don't get 2 people that say that.
I bet we don't get 1.
You'll get more people say it's their favorite movie than people that say it suck.
What about people who just haven't seen it?
That's just the 2 of you in this room.
Well, the point of
That's a very
when we play
popular
a movie
movie.
clip, we try to take something funny from the movie. So even if you haven't seen it, you're like, oh, okay, that was
Yeah,
funny
yeah.
to listen to.
Oh, so
I
you'd
laughed.
rather
That was just
play-
like this random 45 seconds of
So you'd
guys
rather
just
play like
saying
some
nothing.
random Dazed and Confused clip that is like
Ooh, a shot.
partly funny that a lot of people haven't seen
Well,
either.
partly funny is a higher bar.
That was very funny. If you've seen the movie,
Hey,
which a lot
you
of
know
people
what?
have.
It's
you
Victory
just
Friday.
had to throw on if you've seen the movie. That caveat ruins it.
More people have seen "I Love You, Man" than "Dazed and Confused."
That
I
is-
Oh
guarantee
my
it.
God!
That is the dumbest thing you've ever
Hit
said.
us up.
And I don't
Hit
even
us up
like
at
Dazed and
whatever
Confused. I don't even
Hotmail
like the
address
movie.
he has.
I don't even like that
More
movie.
people have seen "I Love You, Man" than "Dazed and Confused."
That's the dumbest
I
thing you've
guarantee
ever
it.
said. Because the problem that you're going to run into here is that back then they only had like 5 movies.
Don't care. Paul
Yeah,
Rudd
you had
and
to
Jason
see.
Segel.
Everyone had to see Dazed and Confused.
Nope.
It was part of
It's like the Celtics titles.
Yeah.
No,
They were playing in a 12-team league.
doesn't matter.
There was 2 movies out that summer.
See, you had no choice but to see it several times.
And my head is hot. I wanted to wear this cool Portland hat.
He's all flustered because we're fighting over "I Love You, Man."
Let's not fight. It's a Victory Friday.
It really is. We could have played Belichick
We're
talking
9-3.
about Seattle.
Okay, let's move on.
All right.
We can play that
Then
as a
just
break.
play it. We don't have to play for the Open. Just play it now. Then y'all can just slap each other's knees over how funny it is and how much better it is of an Open than what I picked.
Jeez.
He's really testy because he's had such an audio problem this morning. Like you're in charge of the technical stuff, and that's been nothing but a disaster.
Well,
today.
I'm sitting here trying to fix it. Jake just leans back and exhales into his microphone to let us know that he's pissed off.
I'm not pissed off.
And then for some
You
reason,
know what? I should turn.
I just feel like a bit helpless. Like I can't really help you guys.
You should maybe close that window because it's
You
getting
think
a
so? Glare.
big thing off your the camera. Perhaps
Okay.
the word could be glare. I don't know.
Better?
Yeah, it's just
Okay.
not so. You
Okay.
know, bright. Anyway, we're doing
this
a video
is the worst
today.
start to any episode we've ever
It's
done.
okay. We can still save this thing. We can save it easily.
It's been such a great day.
We can get a fourth quarter win.
It's Eatsies
So they did.
Friday. Congrats.
Thanks for lunch.
Did you eat?
No,
Why not?
He won't eat in front of us.
too busy.
Too busy doing what?
Picking the open, fixing your audio, getting the levels right. There's just too much to do.
I would have absolutely given you 5 more minutes to eat, and I would just go find a funny clip for the Open.
Weekend preview? What's everybody got? Let's try to get some momentum here.
No, I'm too mad.
I'm going to I don't even know what the charity event is called, but I want everybody else to go to it. The Jared
Sandlot.
Do It for Durrett. What's it called?
Sandlot Charity.
Yeah, it's
A lot of the,
it actually has nothing to do with Do It for Dirt.
Oh, I thought he donated money to the Durrett thing.
I'm sure he does, but
Oh, it has nothing to do with the Do It for Durrett. Nothing at all. There's no tie-in at
Your
all.
sales ability is just absolutely piss poor.
Damn.
Yeah, no, it's Jared's charity. But yeah,
Okay,
we're gonna
so
go do that on
what is
Sunday.
it called?
Sandlot.
So search Sandlot, Jared Sandler, and we want you to go too. It's in Arlington. It's Sunday afternoon. I'm going to be there. Do you know the dress code? Is it Soups Cash?
I think it's
Or
like
Biz Cash?
Biz Cash.
Business jeans?
I don't
If that's
think
what you
so.
if that's what you call
I was thinking business jeans, Luca sweatshirt. Or
that's
your-
probably okay.
how about
You think?
McDowell jersey so people will recognize me? Anyway.
Look, I'm not going to make any suggestions. I just want to see what you come up with.
Okay.
I'll
I just don't
probably
want to
be
be
in a suit.
overdressed. Yeah, you probably will.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see you out there Sunday.
There's an auction. I retweeted the link.
Is it silent? I like silent
that I
auction.
don't actually know, but it's,
It is.
It's thesandlot.org.
Thesandlot.org. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you got going?
So I'll be there with you on Sunday.
And then off to a flag football game?
No, we're off.
Okay.
They give us a couple weeks.
Yeah, you guys are like English soccer, right?
Play year round.
Yeah, you're always on. You're
Yeah,
like,
I think
you're
we
like
start-
the WNBA draft.
I think we start back up next week. The WNBA draft. Tomorrow I am going to the Dallas Symphony Orchestra to go watch Christmas music with daughter.
Okay, mother too.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
No, I don't think so. And
Not
it's
a bad bit at all.
And it's at 11.
That's fun. Oh yeah.
Nighttime, I might have pushed back a little bit. Got a big day of football.
No, that's a good bit. You'll recognize all the songs,
I know this one.
and she will.
Yeah, I think it'll be cool.
They probably have stuff for the kids. I think I've actually done
Cookies
that.
or something. You probably have.
I think I've done that exact thing before. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
very, very cool.
Yeah. I'm excited about it.
In fact, I think I need to look for my time-lapse video. We time-lapse videoed. We got there so early, then I set the phone up and we time-lapse videoed the place filling up.
Oh, that's cool. I think last
and
year
I've never
we
looked
did,
at it again except for like 3 minutes after we did it.
We've done the polyphonic spree thing. And she loved that.
Do you know I have like 10 years of time-lapse video of me setting up the Christmas tree, all the because we don't put the presents until the night before. Like we don't put them throughout the week.
Okay.
So like I'm Santa. We'd store all the presents up here, and then like at midnight or whatever, I go downstairs and.
That's cool.
But I set up the camera for a time-lapse video every year.
I did not know that, but I think that's pretty cool.
Hey, thanks, man. That's all I wanted to hear. Sorry, what else you doing then? So Saturday, Symphony.
Sunday, Sandlot. That's pretty much all I got. Big college football weekend. We're looking at some chaos.
Well, we wonder what's going to happen in these championship games. In the future, this weekend won't feel as big.
You're pretty hung up on that.
Well, you're going to want the bye.
I mean, Michigan and Ohio State will both be in the playoff, whereas now they won't.
Again, as we talked about the other day, there's a huge difference between playing Tulane and having to play Ohio State. Right?
Yeah.
Like, that's going to matter. The seeding will still be very, very important with regard to your chances to advance to, the Final Four.
I'm just wondering, do I want to go see my daughter's last marching band performance? And will it be either in San Diego? The top predictions are San Diego or a Yankee Stadium.
Ooh.
One would be a lot warmer.
Yeah.
Still, though, seeing a football game at Yankee Stadium seems
that'd be
awesome.
cool. Have you been to the new stadium?
It's a matchbox. That's what I hear.
Did I see something there a couple years ago? Was there a hockey game there?
I believe you did. Yes. I was not there.
Okay.
But I believe you did actually go to a hockey game.
At Yankee
cool.
Stadium.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so let's pick San Diego.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be way better.
But I actually don't know if I'm going to go see it. Because, it's when you go see a marching band, it's like, oh, I think that might be her. I don't know. That's one of the...
She's the one booing Trump.
Yeah, what's up with that band, man?
Was that a hot topic?
She thought it was very funny.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, I was on the other side of the field from that video you sent me, but... And it's really funny. It's kind of like... I don't know. Was there like a debate last night that Gavin Newsom was involved in?
I saw some Gavin Newsom news today, but...
Because I saw brother-in-law talked about how he got dragged up and down the floor, and then I saw another tweet that said Gavin Newsom rewrote history and how well he did at the...
He debated Ron
Debate?
DeSantis.
Okay, so it's like, hey, all the second-place guys can go debate?
Yeah.
Like, you guys aren't going to be in the game.
You mean Meatball Ron?
Meatball Ron, that is correct.
So, but it's kind of the same. Like, my daughter is like, oh, yeah, tons of people were just booing. But if you see others will say, oh.
Just the band.
No, but he was getting, it was just nothing but cheers and applause. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
every side is just going to give their story, and then you're going to have to figure it out.
The videos that were sent to us where people were saying, like, hey, it's just the band booing him. I saw several other videos where he's entering the stadium and everyone is booing him.
Yeah, so...
But he's also leading in the polls.
Yeah, so I
like,
bet there's a lot of people cheering him, too.
Yeah. It's South Carolina. It's probably a fairly popular state for him.
Yeah, I think that's a safe spot.
Yeah.
Although isn't like one of the ladies running is from there? Or
Nikki
something?
Haley.
Yeah, I don't know. That's political talk for today. Although, actually, I did get a little politics kind of in viewer mail.
Okay.
Couple quick viewer mails for you. Sweet Clean Dan, I want to wish happy 32nd birthday to my wife, Kylie. This is from Justin.
Kylie.
For her birthday, would you please ask Jake to say something nice about Taylor Swift?
Can't do it.
Hope this reaches you despite the Gmail. Anyway, Kylie. The lady is Kylie. It's
I just don't have much nice to say about
She's
her.
32. The name Kylie, I like it a lot. Wanted to name our first daughter that.
But couldn't do it.
Couldn't do it because I met Kylie Ireland, the porn star.
Yeah.
Uncle Hotmail. Let's see. Oh, okay. I printed this because he said he used to work at Jason's Deli in Grapevine, but never came over to see me when I would be in there with my family. So that's probably the only reason you get more recognition. People are just
They're shook by you.
They're respectful of me.
Yeah.
He said, this is Cullen. Tell Jake.
Cullen?
Cullen is his name.
That's a tough draw in
Cullen
DFW.
Revis. Tell Jake he needs to
The
recognize...
guy who killed his wife.
Who?
Cullen Davis.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Not this guy. This guy didn't kill his wife.
To our knowledge, no. That is correct.
Tell Jake he needs to recognize the other 9/11 memorials in the country, such as the one in Euless.
In Euless, they
What?
actually... I know about this one. I believe they have a piece of a plane. Is that correct?
I don't know. He said, and the very random one I discovered in Garden City, Kansas. It's not just Grapevine that deserves to be ripped.
Garden City there is a dominant JUCO there. Do you guys remember Tyson Thompson?
I feel like I know that name. Why?
Because he got kicked out of TCU for stealing weights.
Ah.
And then he had to go to Garden City. And then he ended up playing for the Cowboys and I believe had a kick return touchdown. That's just I just know
Are
a
you
lot
thinking
about
of Cavante Turpin?
No.
A lot of reaction yesterday when we said
They have a piece of the tower, not the piece of the plane.
Sean.
Euless?
Yeah.
How?
It bounced
you tell
over
me.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It bounced over there.
Have you ever dropped something in your house and then you find it like 12 feet away? You're like, how did it get over there?
Yeah, that happened to my wallet like 2 weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah.
A lot of reaction to the Sean, who had sent us a $690 check, and we let him sit in on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we were talking yesterday about we're just spitballing here. Maybe that could be a price where we would a different tier. You commit $690, and we'll do a show anywhere you want.
Anywhere.
William says, you're telling me if I send you $690, you'll do a show in the Gaza Strip?
You got to cover our travel
Also, no one's
expenses.
saying Gaza,
Gaza, whatever. Gaza. The great Gaza.
where you download music.
Because I also got some Twitter reaction last night, and it was, hey, I live in Arizona. I'll give you $690 to come. But, yes, are you saying...
You got to cover travel expenses.
Okay,
Yeah.
so either in DFW
Yeah.
or travel expenses included. And I got this from...
I'd go to Gaza.
You'll go to Gaza?
Yeah.
But you have to have travel expenses.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And like Kevlar.
You don't know what that is.
I think it's like bulletproof vest. Yeah.
You think that's going to help you?
When you get no-scoped?
Uncle Hotmail.
Yes. Blow me up.
Is there a Venmo or Apple Pay or PayPal I could send a little something extra to help my guys pay off the man? Blah, blah, blah. Thanks for your time. Hopefully this finds you from the Gmail account. If you read this on the show, please don't use my name. Okay, so I did want to just say this because people have asked this before. I think on the, what do you call it? Patreon, you could just, it's like a pledge. I'm pledging to give you $6.90 a month. I'm pledging, you could say I pledge to give you $10 a month.
I will say,
I know many people have done that, and I do appreciate and love them all.
maybe we should set up a Venmo or something because Patreon's going to take their cut of that pledge.
Very
Businessman.
nice.
Yeah. I like it.
You know what? We have this is in the last 2 weeks, we have discovered this little business. Do you have a Business Friday open?
No.
Not yet.
Because I got 5
I'll
minutes.
hook you up eventually.
I got 5 minutes. That's a great idea, Blake, because we discovered recently. We've always thought Venmo takes, or excuse me, Patreon takes 8%, maybe 7, 8. So somebody will see, oh, you have 5,500 subscribers. Let me do the math. Well, recently went in there to take a look at. They do take their processing. They take a Patreon fee, and then they take like a processing fee, which is another 7%. So they're taking like, I think around 16%.
Do you like whenever places like that call it a convenience fee?
Yeah, it does not seem that.
And I'm like, well, what if I were to have it be inconvenient?
Yeah, I would rather that.
Yeah, right.
Is that an option?
In fact, a lot of it does seem. Are we able to do an annual yet, or are we still working on that?
I haven't checked the email in like 2 days.
All right,
My
well-
bad.
I have one viewer mail, and this is from Kyle.
Not Kylie.
No. Kyle took his wife to
One of my favorite porn stars, Kyle, as well.
From Kyle, took my wife to see Matt Rife in Fort Worth a couple weeks ago. Not funny at all, but I've never seen so many horned up women in one spot.
Yeah. I believe it.
Not a good show, but the horned up women was a huge plus.
I believe it. I mean,
You said he's hot.
yeah, I mean, he's not necessarily what I would call hot.
Oh, that's a good light there.
You feeling better about it?
No, because it's real bright in my face. But go ahead.
I mean, I think he looks like a Ken doll, you know? I like a little more rugged man.
You're not into the NBC5 Brian Curtis?
No.
too neat.
Yeah.
Every hair perfectly in place.
Yeah, I want a guy who looks like he might hit me. Despite the fact that Matt Rife does do domestic violence jokes, he just looks too squared away to me.
That just turns me off, humor like that.
Does it?
I mean, come on. Treat them like the queens that they all are. And don't joke about anything otherwise.
Cowboys.
Big Cowboys victory. Are we going on to Cowboys right now?
Sure, let's do it.
Okay. Do we need this?
We got an MVP.
From the wonderful world of sports, Radio Sports Scoreboard.
Most valuable player against bad teams. That's the Dak Prescott Award.
41-35 was
They had
the
a winning
score.
record before last night.
Was that our first
Stipulation before last night.
Was that our first Al Michaels and Herbie experience?
As far as the Cowboys go, I believe so.
Okay.
They played the Titans last year on Thursday night.
I feel like that was 2 years ago. Was it last year?
I don't.
Yeah.
The
I don't
Dobbs,
recall
the Josh
ever.
Dobbs?
Yeah, because I was at the TCU Michigan playoff game.
Okay.
Okay, I just don't recall taking in an Al Herbie game in full like that.
You got Meanwhile.
Although we did have a whole Dude Perfect broadcast on the Cowboys, so maybe that was that. No. They
it
had
was
a
just
whole
they
one
had
with
Dak
Dak
on.
Yeah,
Dak
I'm
and
sorry.
CD, and then they had Luka.
Yeah. It's a bad broadcast.
It is. I thought in the beginning Al sounded peppier, like he was happy to have a real name team.
He was happy to be at AT&T Stadium, too.
Yeah.
That's like his home away from home.
They never did artwork.
They did not.
They don't have a lot of the same product. Like when a player got hurt and stuff, there's no slow Amazon music. Of course, he's got Herbie, who refers to everybody by their number because
Yeah.
he's a college football fan.
33.
And meanwhile, I
A
should
lot of
have done it.
meanwhile.
A lot of meanwhile, man.
It's too much to pull. It's too much to pull. It's a crutch phrase that Al loves.
I kind of have Kermit the Frog in my head because I think that's
Yeah.
what Jubb would call Al Michaels.
Meanwhile.
Hey ho, here we are with Kirk Herbstreit. But do we say this is a good game for the Cowboys to have? Because, when you just win every game by 20, or all your wins are by 20, then it's like, well, have you been in a grinded out game where, this isn't going to be the way the playoffs are going to be? In that sense, can we make a positive out of this?
I don't know why you wouldn't make a positive out of it just in general. I mean, they beat a good team. They put up 41 points. The defense is obviously not where you would like it to be right now, but they pressured Geno quite a bit. I don't know. I was listening to a lot of coverage of this morning and was confused as to why everyone was like concerned about this after this game. They beat a good team.
What if they didn't pull it out? Then you would be concerned. So you must be. You got to be concerned that it was a close game against. If you're calling that a good team, I don't know.
Okay, well then
It's
I'm
a
going to have to
middling.
ask you to list off the good teams in the NFC then. Because I think you can get to like 5 before you get to Seattle.
You have me there.
So, I mean, and they, they farted around a little bit, but they put together a game-winning drive at the end. They got off the field and kicked a field goal to go up 6. I don't know. I thought that was a good game. It was a weird game, that's for sure.
No, it was definitely a good game, and I thought Dak played spectacular, but it's just if you want to make the NFC Championship, you're not you need to play better than beating the Seahawks by 6 at home.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably right, but that's still, 14 straight at home. They're undefeated at home this year. I don't know.
It's their first win against a team with a winning record. Obviously, you know that. It is interesting if Philly does lose this weekend. Are they at San Fran or hosting?
They are hosting.
Okay. But
That is
certainly
true.
a game they could lose because they haven't been just blowing everybody out.
No. They're vulnerable.
But if they do, they'll be 10-2, Dallas 9-3 heading into next Sunday night. which would be very delicious. A chance to tie them up. Record-wise, they wouldn't win a tiebreaker though. They'd be 1-1 against them.
Probably not, because, well, I mean, the common opponent thing, as I erroneously stated that for a couple weeks, it's not. Common opponent now jumps conference record. So what you would have to do is you'd have to beat Buffalo.
They would have both lost to
San Francisco. Yeah. It's still possible, but I think for Dallas to win the division, Philadelphia has to trip up somewhere unexpected.
Against a team that Dallas beat, right?
Yeah, I mean, like the Giants, for example, or Seattle.
Well,
right?
then they would have a better division record.
Well, Philadelphia hasn't lost in the division at all.
I know, but this all starts with the Cowboys beating the Eagles.
Sure.
So then they would be tied.
Of course, but you're going to need somebody besides San Francisco and Dallas to beat Philadelphia. Like, they still have the Giants twice, they have Arizona, and they have Seattle.
Okay.
So one of those teams is going to have to beat Philadelphia, in addition to San Francisco and Dallas beating Philadelphia.
Feels like if Seattle plays like they did last night, they could.
Yeah, I mean, I think Philadelphia is very gettable, dude. I'm buying in. I'm on the hype train.
On the Cowboys?
I might have thrown a little bucks down last night.
Really? You got that excited?
On Cowboy Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Well, if you threw it down on the game, which you predicted to be a blowout, you would have lost.
Yeah.
As I did.
You did? You
I was
listened
really
to Jake?
Yeah. And yeah, I was kind of hoping for a little touchdown there at the end to make it a 10-point lead instead of 6.
I feel like this is the wrong time to put some money on Dak for MVP because I feel like the odds are increasing, and
Yeah.
maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago would have been a good time. Probably also the wrong time now to put your money on Deron Bland for Defensive Player of the Year. That's really weird.
He did not have a great night.
No, man, he had a horrible night, actually.
The first half was pretty rough for him, but he's also tasked with guarding the best top 5 receiver in the NFL, right?
Is that interesting that they named Defensive Player of the Month before the month is over?
Yeah, I mean, I guess what?
Would
It's
they
just
change their mind if they voted today?
He did get the pick.
Yeah.
But
that was awesome.
That was awesome. That was a phenomenal peel-off.
Dak got Offensive Player of the Month, too.
But in general, the defense just did not play well.
No. And so, yeah, that was the yay boo or the good news, bad news, right? The bad news was the defense was not playing well. And I was just thinking this early in the third quarter, or probably midway through, as Seattle took the lead 28-20. The bad news was the defense, but then the good news was you got a feeling that this Dallas team could get in a shootout, and they're comfortable with that.
Yeah, and I mean, if you go back to the start of the year, I mean, I know they put up, 40 on the Giants, but then they have, 2 defensive touchdowns. It didn't feel like they were just running it up on offense for the pre-bye part of the season. You know, they beat up on the Jets, but it just didn't seem like the offense had really been asked to run the field.
Yeah, what was
for
this
the first month and a half of the season, and now that's a different team.
What was it? The stat in the post game was the first 6 games for Dak, 6 touchdowns, 4 picks. The last 6 was like something crazy, 20 touchdowns.
Yeah, and he's not turning the ball over.
And 2 picks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not even just and I think that's part of the deal with interceptions a little bit. We talked about it as it relates to last year. A lot of those balls were tipped last year. A lot of them were, drops or just random interceptions. Pro Football Focus tracks the turnover-worthy play. So it's not just did the ball get picked, it's was that a risky throw? And he's still just leading the league in that. Despite the fact that they're actually pushing the ball down the field and he's making over the middle of the field throws, Jake Ferguson is already better than Dalton Schultz. That touchdown that snatch.
The hands catch?
That was amazing.
That was
awesome. He's already a bigger middle of the field threat than Dalton Schultz was.
And that was a very aggressive throw by Dak.
It was.
He's got to trust that Jamal is not breaking on the ball.
Yeah.
Jamal Adams.
kind of like a badass too. He got a real helmet hit. I was surprised that didn't get a flag with all the flags that were thrown last night.
Yeah, it was annoying.
But then he almost got in a fight right after it.
He's scrappy.
Yeah, like he's kind of a badass. I like Jake Ferguson a lot.
Yeah.
Ferguson has told Dak to, hey, pull me back whenever I get too out of hand.
I heard. I think your Dalton Schultz opinion was right about Dalton Schultz. Is the worst thing about Dalton Schultz? Them, signing him to a long-term contract is Dalton Schultz.
Yeah.
You can find third, fourth round
Yeah.
tight ends who can do what Dalton Schultz does.
May take a year.
And you might have found a guy who does it even better now.
Yeah.
But then when it comes time to pay him, then it's I don't know. It
might be the same thing.
It's
the
exact same thing.
But if you can prove you're even a cut above that, then maybe you do pay the guy.
Sometimes you get injured, and then the team pays you like you didn't get injured, instead of just
Are you talking about
replacing you.
The Michael Gallup.
Final year of Michael Gallup here? It has to be. There's no way that.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the guarantees, but he's not bringing a whole lot to the table right now.
And will they learn from those two and not sign Tony Pollard?
Yes.
Probably so. Yeah. And
Although
again,
Pollard might also there might just not be a free agent market.
Yeah, you can get him for
the
pretty
market
cheap.
may be
Like
quite depressed.
who's gonna break the bank for Pollard?
Nobody.
Well, I mean, a year ago, there would probably be some teams, but yeah, he doesn't look right.
Brief aside, love the Seahawks uniforms.
Yeah, those are sweet.
Like, they have so many good looks.
That's a throwback, right?
Yeah.
What they had last night. Yeah.
I know, like on, was it Thanksgiving? That was probably a common topic in living rooms around America when they went with the highlighter.
Who, the Seahawks?
Yeah, a lot of people don't like those. I like them.
Oh, okay.
But like the neon green, like my dad was complaining about it, my mom was complaining about it. Like, what is this?
Was it?
This ain't football.
Yeah, and the Eagles went throwbacks last week.
The Kelly Greens.
Yeah, those are cool.
Those are so cool. So, anyways, yeah, we are on to Philadelphia.
Well, let's not move off this game just yet.
No, I'm just saying, like, this is going to be so great, dude. A Sunday night football game.
If Philly loses this week,
great-
it'll be way, way better.
Yeah.
Should we promote?
Are we going to do it?
Yes, we have to.
Are we doing
seems
it?
as if he has made the decision.
That's a huge game.
I'm in.
Yeah, let's do it.
We're going to do a video stream?
Yeah. Let's get our. Yeah. I don't.
What was that?
I was gonna say let's get our let's get our good video guy. Let's blow this thing out. Let's
I'm
get
down.
some good guests. Let's have some fun.
You talking Michael?
I'm talking Michael Cakeland.
Cakeland? Caked up?
He is a cake. All right.
We haven't even talked about CD at all.
CD, who no longer sniffs his finger. He just
No.
balls out every week.
Because everyone else started doing it.
Including Dude Perfect.
Dude Perfect sniffs their finger. Do we have Dude Perfect audio for today?
We have too much Dude Perfect audio today.
That doesn't exist. Too much Dude Perfect. Yeah, CD. Another 100-yard game. Another proof, I guess. This is back to Troy criticizing the Cowboys and Kellen Moore. They know you're going after CD. They know you're going to target him. It doesn't matter. If you're one of those guys, you can still find a way to get the ball. And they are making the effort to get CD the ball.
Yeah, and I mean, I'd have to go back and look this up, which I probably will do for a column on Monday, but 19 targets has got to be his career high.
He did that without even complaining about getting targets.
I mean, that's almost
That's how the Cowboys
Brandon
get
Cook
targets.
style. That's almost half of Dak's passes. You know, and he's drawing penalties if he's not catching the ball. He had 6 first downs on 12 catches, a touchdown. It just felt like he was open all night. I don't know. He's turning into one of those guys. That's what I thought was really cool about last night. Was just it felt like a battle between DK Metcalf and CeeDee Lamb. Just balling out. It was cool to see.
Having one of those guys is great. Wait, is he locked in?
No.
Does he have a new deal? Okay.
No.
Because that's going to be big. It's getting bigger every game.
It's getting bigger every game. I mean, it's
because wide receivers are now
$25 million a year.
I was going to say, could he sniff 30?
Yeah. I see what you did there.
I didn't mean to, but that just comes naturally.
I would imagine those two are waiting, and by those two, I think CD is waiting for Jefferson, and Jefferson is waiting for CD. It feels like. It feels like Jefferson should get paid more.
And I guess I'd have to go back and look at. Are they same draft class?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
yeah.
But
Jefferson was a couple before. Or no, after. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's the controversy.
Yeah.
Because Jefferson didn't get his deal.
But Jefferson didn't have, like, Jerry didn't know a guy named Justin.
Yeah.
Or
Jefferson,
yeah, in college.
Who wore
I
88.
think it's evening out this year. I think that
Well, it helps that one of them's playing.
Well, I mean, even without that, I mean, we haven't seen the CD yet.
Mm-mm.
This is true
No, it's
number
awesome.
one stuff.
Yeah, but Justin Jefferson was number one in the NFL stuff for the past couple of years. So it's going to take a little while to even out,
Yeah.
if indeed it ever does.
But that was one of those where it was going to go down as you could have had Justin Jefferson.
What did you think about the Cowboys when they're trailing 28-20? They score a touchdown and they don't go for two with 3:41 left in the third.
Yeah, I thought it was weird.
I thought it was very weird, especially because McCarthy talks about the barn and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and I mean they went for it later.
Well, so my thinking, and
They went for it later to go from up one to up three.
Yeah.
and there were quite a few McCarthy decisions that we could kick around, but at that point, by kicking, no matter what Seattle does, it remains a one-possession game.
That's true.
And in the other case, going up by 2 doesn't help you really in any scenario. So
Yeah, it does.
I kind of understand how.
Oh, going up by 2 instead
Yes.
of 3. Yes.
Yeah, 37-35
Yeah, you
doesn't
have
do-
to go for 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I could see where you want to keep the game a one-possession game. I could see that. Now, the fourth down call?
Wait a second. If you go for two and miss it, it's still a 1.
No, because Seattle with a PAT would make it a 9-point game.
Correct.
Okay.
I think that's what you're afraid of.
Okay, so there's an argument.
I think so. The fourth down call where you could kick a field goal to take the lead, I'm still very old school, and if you could take the lead, take the lead.
This is with a minute left in the third.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 4th and 2.
Yeah, and maybe in the first half you could say, let's keep the offense on the field, but I don't know. That one was tough for me. And I mean the play was there. That was CD's drop.
Yes. Yeah, no.
It would have been a 48-yard field goal, and I know Aubrey's made everything, but it's not a gimme.
It's not a gimme.
He was also, like, really
Yeah.
hugging that left upright
Yeah,
all
he
night
was.
long. Like, Al Michaels wanted to be on a highlight of him saying, he has made, like, he would lean into it every time.
Yeah.
My observation from the fourth down play was when CD dropped it, Devin Witherspoon sniffed right in CD's face.
Oh, he did?
I love that.
I didn't see that.
I mean, anytime you do one of these things, you're asking for people to do it back to you, and he just got right in his grill and did the sniff right to him.
You remember a couple years ago when guys were doing the
Feed me.
feed me?
Yeah.
I was thinking of the Dak hip thing
Oh,
before
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
pregame
yeah.
hip thing.
Yep.
They all make fun of that. Yeah, that's a good bit. That's why I guess like Deron Bland has a rough first half, and he doesn't talk. He doesn't do anything, outlandish. There's nothing you can do to Deron Bland to, like, if he's real silent when he does well, he's pretty silent when he's doing poorly too. I love Al Harris.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
He fires me up.
Yeah, he just looks cool. He's firing you up.
They flashed his title up there as senior defensive backs coach.
I did not see that. Do they have a junior defensive back
That's
coach?
what I was. I just thought he was the secondary coach. but he was the senior.
Could a guy with a neck tattoo be a head coach?
For sure. The day's coming.
The day's coming, but we don't have one yet, right? Do we have tattooed head coaches?
Isn't there almost no doubt that Antonio Pierce has tattoos? Like he
That's
was
a
in the
good
league
call.
not that long ago. I'm
Who
trying to look and
else?
see. It wouldn't shock me if Mike McDaniel has like a Playboy bunny tattoo or something weird from whenever he was still drinking. There's got to be though, right?
Vrabel
Wouldn't surprise me at all. Dan Campbell,
could
tattoo
have
candidate
something,
for sure.
but not like
Not neck.
sleeve guy. Yeah,
Neck is different. I would agree with you there.
neck is a step. But will there be a face tattoo guy somewhere? Some in the future.
That
of the
feels
NFL?
like a bridge too far.
There's got to be a lot of NBA tattoos, right?
On
Head
coaches?
yeah.
Yeah, you know Nash has some lame tattoo.
Does
I mean,
J
obviously
Kidd
not-
have anything?
I don't recall him being tatted up as a player. But yeah, I mean, for sure. Mose,
Controversial
Mose has
opinion.
tattoos.
Well, I don't know if this is controversial. You tell me. Jackson Smith. Is it Najigba? Is an uncomfortable name, and I feel like we should just call him Smith.
Didn't they call him JSI last night?
It feels like
JSN?
Yeah, I guess I feel like last night I heard a
Al Michaels said it enough that I thought I need to write this note down. This is uncomfortable every time Al Michaels says this.
it's in Jigba.
In Jigba.
Yeah. And maybe I've just heard it a lot because he grew up
Did I
around
not
here.
say that?
You
Anyway.
kind of did. But yeah, he is from here. He's a Rockwall kid.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The Rockwall.
I don't have it. I know
Wow.
I know they're orange.
Tough.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, those big schools, I kind of get lost because Argyle doesn't play them.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just another one from the factory. I mean, if you just look at
Ohio State?
Ohio State's wide receivers over the past 5 years, it's stupid.
They were saying it was one of the most, they were on the way to a possible all-time penalty yardage game.
Got a lot of Cleat Blakeman.
And I wonder if that factored into, because the Cowboys took advantage of it a couple times with getting a call of pass interference. You always talk about the good things that can happen if you air it out a little bit. You're stretching that defense.
Give it to Rathman.
You could end up getting an interception, but if you do,
Every show.
it's 40 yards down the field.
Yeah, and I mean,
But you can get a PI in this day and age. Who knows what it's going to be, too. So I thought that was a good move. I didn't know if that was calculated because they're throwing the flag a lot today or what.
yeah, I don't know. I imagine that on the headsets they are talking throughout the game of like, hey, this whistle's a little heavy here. Let's let's get physical on the outside and take some shots. And even if you end up throwing a pick like they did, it's coming back. Who was it last week that thought they had a free play and messed it up? I feel like I saw that last week. Like somebody, it might have been a college game, like thought they had a free play, threw a YOLO ball.
And it
Yeah.
got intercepted.
Yeah, and the penalty was on the offense.
Yeah, that does sound really familiar.
You have to be careful with that, but yeah, no, I thought it was a well-coached game. Outside of the very odd 2-point conversion and fourth down thing.
The defense did have some big, moments. A bad game overall, but the DeMarcus Lawrence stuffing Charbonnet on a 4th and 1 was a big play. Big pressure on the Seattle 4th and 4 at the 49 with how many minutes left? Under 4 minutes left in the game. I don't have it noted. After the Cowboys touchdown that got them up 38-35.
Yeah,
3:11
left. Yeah,
And, of course, the final play. Or at least the defense's final play.
Micah.
The Micah sack, or almost sack.
Yeah,
He didn't sack him. He actually threw it. But
it's another 9-pressure game from Micah.
Jeez.
you might look at that play and say that's what did it, and Geno Smith is just snake bit. I would look at the 2nd and 2 play that occurred 2 plays before that, and Geno Smith had a wide open guy for a first down,
The
and
tight end.
just
Yeah.
had a terrible low pass that was out of his reach. He had to dive. He didn't get it, and that was a first down. That was a gimme first down, but Geno Smith.
And the 4th down on the drive previous, where the Cowboys brought, I think, 6, but the Seahawks had 6 to block, and he just left it up for Jackson, and he just threw it too
Smith.
soon. Yeah. Now you're
it's
in
in
my
your
head.
head.
Yeah. Now I don't even want to say it.
But I did, about a minute ago, refer to that very play, Blake, I believe. It was 4th and 4 at the 49.
Okay, I heard Charbonnet.
And they had big pressure.
I wasn't going to say
The
anything.
Charbonnet one was previous to that.
The Geno Smith case is interesting. Like, he's just a classic middle of the road.
Replacement player.
Yeah,
And, like, they paid him, but they didn't pay him
and that's
too
where
much G money, you know? So
yeah,
it's
but
like,
if you say Dak's just a bus driver or a 4th-round pick,
that's a bus driver.
yeah, you could say, all right, put Geno Smith in this offense.
Yeah.
I don't think Geno Smith can do what Dak does in this offense.
There's no doubt.
Dak breaking out of that sack was so huge.
That was awesome. He almost finagled his way out of a couple of other ones last night, too. And is that the most keepers in a game we've seen since 2018?
They have really reintroduced that into their offense.
It's cool to see.
In the past,
Basically
5 or
since the
6
bye.
games?
Yeah.
Yeah, he talks about it in the post game. He thought he needed to do that more.
Well, I think he did too. And, we've been talking about that because he's a different guy. Yes, he is. He's certainly not a middle-of-the-road quarterback if he has that in his game. And we didn't know if that was gone forever.
And he doesn't
Yeah.
even have to be rushing the ball. Like, just getting outside of the pocket. He's so good throwing on the run. Like, one of the best.
I have some of that. I have some of the Dak post game. So on the Amazon set, they kept promising we're going to have Dak and Micah coming up, and they never got Micah, unless I somehow missed that.
He'll stand you up.
Yeah.
But that's why
Stephen A.
You know what I really like is when you go through the Micah podcast, just because it's
Yeah, I probably need to do that more
'cause
often.
he's so just firing off on any subject, and
Man,
and that's the one place that's his forum.
Yeah.
He doesn't
That
need
and Twitter.
He doesn't need anyone around.
Yeah.
You know, he had a weird tweet.
I forgot to pull this from Sounds of the Sideline the other week, but the defensive line was mocking his podcast.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They're like, you never go at anybody. And Mike is like, no, I'm here to uplift people. And they're just ripping on him.
His tweet was, I really don't see no team play us the same, ! Watch any film or any game, ! It's sad, bruh, ! And double exclamation points on each one of those, if you're wondering if there's too many. But what is he saying? Who's he yelling at? I don't see any team play us the same. Watch any film. It's sad.
Just that everybody gets up for the Cowboys?
Is that it?
That's the best guess I could give you.
And he's upset about that?
Yeah, teams
That people are trying real hard against them?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a weird tweet. I will give you that.
I just didn't know. I didn't know what was the.
What do you think about the Dallas Morning News thing? Did you see that?
No.
Like the Morning News, it's a good article and it's a good breakdown. I think Michael Gelkin did it. Like the idea that he's being held on every play. Because Micah retweeted that.
I bet he did.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's kind of like with the Seahawks, in the Legion of Boom era, where Dan Quinn was basically like, we're just going to interfere on every play.
that feels like that was a
They're-
Belichick thing back
Yeah.
in the.
They're not going to be able to call it.
They can't call them all.
Yeah. And so I think it was Michael Gelkin went through and did like a pretty thorough video breakdown of just like all of Micah's snaps this year coming off the edge. I mean,
And I wonder
he's being held a lot.
what if we did that same breakdown with T.J. Watt?
And see, that's the thing. I don't know. Does it look weirder because Micah's smaller and he's faster? So when a guy who's 320 pounds gets his hands on the outside of him, it looks a little bit more egregious than if it's T.J. Watt, who's bigger. I don't know.
They were showing him last night, which is why the letting him run free on that last play is so odd. They were showing him, double, triple teaming him all the time.
Yeah, and
he takes a beating.
Herbie's explanation of that, I just didn't.
Of what?
Like him trying to explain why they left Micah where he was. It didn't make a whole lot of sense to me.
What did he say? Because I saw some other online stuff.
Wasn't it that they were trying to slide protection?
Okay, yeah, I heard
one
that.
way, and that the back was supposed to. He's like, they had this.
And he was like, but the back isn't going to slide over to get Micah.
Yeah.
Why not? That would be
the only. Yeah, it was weird.
That's kind of like the time they let Geno Smith run into the end zone.
Yeah.
Why isn't there one guy with at least a side eye on Geno Smith?
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're playing
if he can do anything, he's not like a statue back there. So Carissa Thompson.
Charissa.
Is it Charissa?
No.
Oh, okay.
Well,
that's how you spell it.
Yeah.
Is of course the anchor of the Amazon postgame thing. Also very interesting. I played you the first time she said that she made up sideline reports, which was her and Aaron Andrews have a podcast, and they've been doing it for years. Well, they're still doing it. And this past week, they did not address. Don't you find that really weird? You're going to address the situation with a public statement. You were heavily criticized in NFL media by NFL media people, like real people, like Brian Curtis said. That's never done. You never see,
Leslie Visser.
Yeah. Real highfalutin people that never get on Twitter just get on Twitter just to rip her. You would think, I need to address this somewhere, and she didn't. Even in the safe space of her podcast with her bestie, Aaron Andrews. So I thought that was weird.
Them.
But we're going to hear a little bit more from her during this Dak post-game thing. First, you'll hear her at the end. But the initial thing is Richard Sherman is going to ask him about escaping that sack, and I thought this was interesting.
There was the one play where it looked like you were obviously sacked, where Darryl Taylor had you in his grasp, and you get out of it.
He was celebrating.
I thought it was done. I thought it was done. And you got out of there and still made a play down the field. Is that something y'all actively practicing day in and day out, or is it just a feel in these games?
No, credit to Mike, credit to the coaching staff, is we do practice that. And it's a fast break offense in a sense, so you want to practice it. It's a little bit of a feel in my sense of being able to get out of some of those tackles and extend the play, but for the receivers to know where they need to go up or where they need to come back down, finding the lanes, that is practice. It's something that we repeat and rep all the time.
That's a poor edit.
It's not edited. I just stopped it real quick.
Okay. I just wanted to stand up for Blake a little bit.
Because I want to keep some Charissa for you. But I just wanted to stop it there just to say
it's really cool.
If you want, I wouldn't have thought that.
Yeah.
But I also watched the Dolphins Hard Knocks, episode 1 at least. I didn't watch episode 2 yet. But they were showing Tua practicing, and I can't remember who the opposing player was. I don't know if you remember it. But they were saying, maybe it was T.J. Watt. It was somebody that comes in and will always, he's like, this guy will always, punch him, or after the play.
No, it was Max Crosby.
Max Crosby, the Raider.
Yeah.
So they were going to play the Raiders that week, and they had one of their guys, while practicing, hey, I want you to come in. I want you to jab me in the ribs. I want you to give me extra after every play.
Yeah.
Because this guy will play dirty. He'll play cheap. I want you to elbow me.
Yeah.
I want you to, because during practice, you're trying to simulate what's going to happen in the game so that you can keep your head about you.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I think it was the quarterback coach maybe. The quarterback coach was like, he's doing that to make you feel as if he's getting home with pressure even when he's not. He's doing that after the play, a little bump, a little, little something extra, just to make you feel as if he's there, even when he's not, so that you're worried about it even when he's not really getting there.
And that's what started the Crosby versus Mahomes in the quarterback series. When Mahomes was going at Crosby, it was because he punches him right in the ribs.
That's right. I remember that. Okay, so Charissa's going to chime in at the end.
About guys
okay. Wait, let me just back up.
It's something that we repeat and rep all the time.
You talk about guys making plays. Walk me through standing on the sideline, 4th and 2, and Micah goes unblocked and just ends the game in true Micah Parsons fashion.
That's Michael Parsons, great player, step up in big time situations.
I just thought that
and
was
in
a
big-time
very
games and
non-question. It was like hey, speaking of guys making plays, what about Micah?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, Micah made a play. She's going to have another one here, but again, this is more stuff that I found very interesting that Dak said. He's going to say everybody knows this. I'm saying I didn't know this when he's talking about CD.
It means a lot. CD, we've put a lot of work into this thing. Everybody knows I have a field in my backyard, and,
Did you know that?
Oh, yeah.
He has a full football field in his backyard?
Yeah.
That was a COVID thing.
Yeah.
He had to build during COVID, if I remember right.
This is yeah.
Well, that's awesome.
Because people always want to know who's there. I think they have a name for it.
Really?
Yeah, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, there's, it's Instagram, right? Everybody's posting their photos of their workouts, but the Dak Field is a thing.
Wow.
They got the dogs out
It's a
there.
full?
Oh, yeah.
100-yard?
Yeah.
And I think you've mocked it before because one reporter asked, who are you working out with? And one week he said Simi Fahoku.
Yeah.
And you just kind of knew, okay, that's not going to pay off.
Everybody knows I have a field in my backyard, and going back to the moment April comes, we're in the backyard, we're getting it, we're throwing. Me and CD, sometimes other receivers come over, trips that we take. So it didn't start off the way we wanted.
He also lives really close to Frisco, if I'm not mistaken, if not in Frisco.
I think it's Prosper, and I was wrong. It's a 55-yard field, but still.
He could drive down the street. They have a huge facility, and they're going to let him use anything. I don't think they'd be like, Dak, no, you can't come in here.
You're probably right.
It didn't start off the way we wanted, and once again, it could have been, the getting in the rhythm of the play call and how we want to attack, but I know how special that guy is. Catches like that. He's talented. He's the best. You look around the league, watch what he does with the ball in his hand on reverses, around, screens, down the field. It's hard not to say he's the best in the game.
I didn't know you had a field in your backyard.
You didn't.
I didn't know that. That's a big
He wants to know if his kids can come play.
We're invited. We could have done this in the backyard.
Right.
Dak, the longest active winning streak at home just improved to 14 games. What can you say about this place and those fans?
All right, so what kind of a question is that?
Yeah, that's bad.
What kind of a question is that? Well, I wonder what he's going to say.
Yeah, these fans are awesome.
Okay. I thought he was going to. I was going to say they're fine, but I mean, you ever been to Green Bay?
Yeah, you ever been to
Those
Philly?
are fans.
Whether we're home, whether we're on the road, they're going to make sure that their presence is known, and most importantly, we need them to go 15 straight. So looking forward to that.
You mentioned presence.
Oh.
This is a
Okay, now here
Okay.
is she leaning into I'm the girl on the set. She's holding a big gift in her hand.
Okay.
Oh.
This is a different present, but every guy up here has a daughter, and now you're expecting one. So I went to the mall today, guys. I picked this out and bought it on behalf of all of us
Thank
here
you.
at
No, she
TNF
doesn't. It's from
because
us,
I had trusted my choice in girls' clothes. But we couldn't be happier for you.
Thank you.
Congratulations, and I know that you've said that you now have this different kind of swag, knowing you're going to be a girl dad. Describe that for us.
I'm blessed. I really am. Just to be able to.
I don't even want to hear. I just don't want to hear it.
Describe what you're feeling on knowing that you're going to become a girl dad. Well, I'm going to tell you because I'm a guy who found out we were going to have a girl. I don't know. It's just I don't know.
Just a kid.
Don't know what's going to happen. I'm really not sure about it. Maybe once the kid is born, and even then,
Maybe I'll give it away.
here's what's going to happen. Even then, because I remember hearing other people saying, "Oh, the second that I touched her little fingers, it was Well, it took a little while.
Yeah.
It was just a thing that was just kind of laying there. Once, she could start, having a little bit of personality or her head wouldn't just flop over, then it became,
sometimes
I don't think I was totally in love with the baby.
Sometimes the mom just drives him into a lake.
Well, that does happen. And then you got to get a new one.
Not everyone falls in love right away.
And then this was obviously, if I could go back and do anything, because sometimes we mark audio and we know you can tell right away this will be good audio for the game. I probably would have marked every time Al and Herbie were going nuts over the Here We Go.
Boy.
because they started getting giddy about
You know
that.
what's weird about it too is you referenced the hip thing earlier. He'd been doing that for years, and then happened to be captured on camera on Sunday Night Football, and it became a thing. He's been doing "Here We Go" for like 2 years now, but for whatever reason this year, maybe he's leaning into it a little bit more, but they're focusing on it like a ton now. He did it last year.
Well, here we go more.
Yeah.
I got to ask a question. I'm sorry. I've been getting texts all night because I don't know the answer. Maybe these guys already know. The cadence of the snap. Here we go. Where does that come from? And I can't get it out of my head, by the way. Now, here we go all night.
Yeah, there's a song about it now. It's taken off. Really, we just wanted to make sure that we're all getting off on the same, use the cadence to our ability. And the linemen wanted a little something before, I guess, for me, really, it's to tell them, hey, stop the communicating. Here we go.
Those linemen always requesting.
Was it you that made it up, or was it McCarthy, or was it?
I think it was the coaches.
Here we go.
I think it was the coaches, early in the offseason.
Awesome.
And
sounds good.
They're getting together, and I'm like, damn, we're starting off like this. It's going to be a long offseason.
Okay, then do a walk-off cadence to get us out of here.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, here we go.
You're the best. Thank you so much, Dad. Congrats on the W.
You're the best. That's something like that you and I have talked about before, Dan. Like, it's annoying when people would ask Boban, like, how come you're so funny?
Yeah.
Like, to ask somebody to do something from their element, out of their element, it just, I don't know. That was a weird move by her. And you could tell he didn't want to do it.
How you walking with a lion got me feeling like Micah. I've been known to wear the team on my back like a biker. Shorty won't be with a star, but you lucky if I invite you. We can take it to the next spot. They yelling like Prescott. Everybody like. There ain't no
That's good.
rest, no rest.
It's not horrible.
Trying to get your head chopped. The whole club yelling.
Now, the interesting thing is going to be when that guy, because Dak obviously knows about it from TikTok, that guy is going to be served a letter from an attorney within the week.
With his copyright?
Yeah, just sampling me.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, yeah, now it's on to Philly, I guess. That is going to be great.
And we'll have a live stream. It'll be fun. They'll probably lose.
Live stream on our Twitch and YouTube channel.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. I don't know.
Can you live stream on Twitter too?
Yeah.
Should we?
I don't know. I don't know how that works.
The weird thing, and we can wrap this up. The column that I write every week, I feel like makes me insane because you have to have a take, right? And I feel like at the end of last season, I was so done with the Cowboys. And I was done with Dak, and like they're not going to get any better. They're good, but they're not good enough. I think I wrote like the Super Bowl window is over. And it literally takes like 2 months for me to be like, here we go.
And how
we're back.
You've done this before.
I know. But I don't know. It's this one feels different. It feels
Jake.
It feels different to me.
I'm upset with you, and I'm saying you're right.
Because
it always does.
Their quarterback is playing out of his mind. They have a true number one wide receiver. They have the best defensive player in the league. They have a shutdown corner. They've been relatively healthy. Tyron Smith has already played more games this season than he's played 2 out of the last 3 years.
Which means that's ready to...
The dam will break soon?
Yeah.
Maybe, but...
I mean, you were probably saying all of these things as they headed into San Francisco earlier this year.
I'm with Dan. I think I agree with you.
They were in that game until Pollard
this.
got hurt last year.
I'm not going to fall for this
this year.
Okay. This year's San Francisco beatdown? Probably. But that happens, though.
But it happens to them in the playoffs.
Not this year.
The real illuminating stat was also what their record on grass and their record at home and all that kind of stuff. That's why if they don't get home field.
Well, they're not going to get home field. And San Francisco is grass. Philly is a hybrid. So that's a problem. That's a problem. But I'm pretty fired up, man.
So you put down cash on them to
to
win it all. What are the odds these days?
It was like plus 500, I want to say. They have like the sixth best odds right now. But I mean, that makes sense though, right? Even if you just consider them the third best team in the NFC, take 3 other teams in the AFC, and they're right there.
Yeah, it's not a lot
crazy.
of value on your bet, though.
No, not a lot of value, but
that's not nearly the
fires me up.
value that I'm going to get with my bet that I made last weekend for MVP.
Oh, Dak?
Nope.
For
Micah.
MVP? Micah?
I think you'll see his odds go down a little bit this year, or is it down or up? If your odds it's better. After he beats Philly this weekend, Brock Purdy, everybody's going to want to be on that.
Oh,
that's value.
right.
I'm
Yeah.
saying there's
That's right.
value
Oh
in
gosh.
there's value in betting Brock Purdy for MVP.
Joe Montana.
I put 100 on Micah to win MVP after like game 3, and that has gone
He's actually a pretty successful wagerer.
very
Do you know
far
that?
away.
Really?
Yeah.
Just because
Because he won like $3,000 on Ohio University, and he's been playing with house money for like 3 years now.
Yeah.
Is that pretty close? It was a lot.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You were there, weren't you?
Yeah, we had Ted Emmerich on.
And he said he really liked Ohio University in the tournament. And I'm like, okay, what if I put $1,000 on it?
Dang.
And it works out. Yeah, so you want on the Purdy bandwagon, now's the time, my friend.
No, it's
I
all
don't.
you, bud.
I'm good.
Okay. You guys want to break? And then we got, okay, so here's what we got still. The news. Dude Perfect audio. Chappy. Anybody else want to jump in, or is that all we got?
That's quite a bit.
Sounds like a lot.
That is quite a bit. All right.
I've received a number of inquiries relative to a note that I wrote to Donald on Monday. Our friendship goes back many years, and I think anybody that's spent more than 5 minutes with me knows I'm not a political person. My comments are not politically motivated. I have a friendship and a loyalty to Donald. A couple weeks ago, we had Secretary of State Kerry in our locker room. It's another friend of mine. Can't imagine two people with more different political views than those two. But to me, friendship and loyalty is just about that. It's not about political or religious views. I write hundreds of letters and notes every month. Doesn't mean I agree with every single thing that every person thinks about politics, religion, or other subjects. But I have multiple friendships that are important to me, and that's what that was about. So it's not about politics, it's about football. We got a huge game this week against a great football team, great organization, and that's where it all is going forward on Seattle. All right.
Coach, were you happy or annoyed that Trump read the letter?
Seattle.
So your team's always been good at keeping outside distractions on the outside. Given the nature of this presidential race,
Seattle.
Did you find it?
Seattle.
Did you find it helpful to talk
Seattle.
to players about this? Have any of your players talked to you about this?
Seattle.
Concerns about any locker room rancor as a result of this?
Next. Good.
Richard Sherman has stayed on primarily the defensive left over the course of his career.
You're listening to The Dumb Zone.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Here we go.
All right. The Here We Go remix is, if you think there's been a lot, wait till they get to the Super Bowl.
When?
This year?
Saying if they get there, this will be a big deal. This is obviously going to be a huge... Right? What are we going to do? Here we go. We'll become a big feature.
Are we going to live stream the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
We're going to commit. We're committing to that?
We need to do every playoff game.
I believe the Super Bowl is it February 11th? The Dan and Jake
anniversary.
Yeah.
Yep.
What a day.
Would we do a public live stream of that?
We could.
Sell stuff.
Yeah.
You're really good at that.
600. Well, I'm not very good at just about anything. I do have some Today in History, but that's pending if we have enough time.
Okay.
Because I want to make sure we get Chappy and the news and Dude Perfect. You want to do some news?
Sure, let's go.
Before we get to more sports?
Here's Jake with the Dub Zone News.
If we have any news.
Because it's video and there's extra steps, Chappy will be on in 25 minutes.
Okay. That's fine by me.
Thanks, Blake.
I'm just saying, when he randomly pops on our screen, you'll know why.
Okay.
I can't just send him the invite and him join immediately.
Got it. Feels like something we could have discussed in the break. In Stillwater, Oklahoma, as the Oklahoma State Cowboys and the Texas Longhorns prepare to square off in the Big 12 Championship this weekend, a Longhorn was found dead in front of an Oklahoma State fraternity house this morning.
Okay. This is fine, though, right? Because you can just eat it.
Yeah, I guess.
That's not really animal. Is it animal abuse if you kill a cow?
Yeah, right? I mean, if it's not your cow.
What if it is your cow? Because you can't just kill your dog, can you?
No.
No.
Although I thought about it.
After his cyst exploded on you?
Yeah, her.
So the Longhorn was found. So who?
It seems like you'd want it to be on the Texas campus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's?
The carcass had an expletive carved onto its side, and the stomach was cut open, according to the campus newspaper in Stillwater.
Wow, that's hardcore, man.
Yeah. Did you guys ever hear anything like that, like when you were growing up, like the Satanists?
I mean, that was a common.
But I think I grew up like right in the heart of that, right?
Plus,
like
probably
the
where
Satanic Panic.
Yeah, probably down here you get a little more too.
Yeah, there was a good buddy of mine who lived across the street from our middle school, and we were not like in a rural area, but they had like 5 or 6 acres, like they were a holdover kind of, and they had miniature horses, and more than one time.
This big? How
they
big?
Were tiny. Yes, they were that size, Dan. More than one time, they were killed.
Wow.
Yeah, and like cut open.
I don't know what to make of that.
From like the the Columbine era, like early 2000s, late 90s. There was like the West Memphis 3 and all that stuff. You've seen those documentaries, haven't you?
I don't know what that is.
Are you sure?
Why don't you tell me and remind me?
I feel like it was it was an HBO series, not series, but like a 2 or 3 part documentary about like some kids that got like wrongfully convicted.
Okay, I kind of remember that.
But I'm just saying, like, it was during that time of like everyone's gonna wear black. We're into Metallica. We play Doom. We shoot up our school. That whole thing. But it does feel like it's been a long time since we've had a rivalry act. Like, this feels very 1940 to me.
Yeah.
Like, you would hear about this all the time back then, right? Like, we're going to go steal the bird.
Wasn't it like
Or something
Auburn
like
or
that.
somebody poisoned a tree?
A tree,
or-
yeah. I think that guy went to prison.
I think at our high school, we were next to Bay. I went to Westlake. And Bay was the Rockets. and they were blue and white. We were green and white. And I believe every week or every year before the big game against Bay Village, it was, somebody would paint the Rocket green.
Yeah, we had stuff like that.
That seems kind of harmless, but
right. It's not
fun.
cutting
It's
open
not, yeah, like
a bovine.
Yeah, that's a very high level. Like at one point, we were getting many years ago was getting my tires slashed in the neighborhood, and talked to a cop buddy of mine, and he's like, "Yeah, that's an aggressive. Like that's just more than just like regular vandalism.
Right.
If you're ready to slash a tire, like keying a car is one thing. Slashing a tire is."
Getting keyed is also very annoying.
It's very annoying, but it's also not as, I don't know.
I would just do like shoe polish.
Yeah, that was common when I was in high school.
Yeah. I'd put
on a car?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like on a car on the windshield. Because like typically you would do it like girls would do it for like somebody's birthday, like they had a crush on or something. But what I did is shortly after 9/11, because like they would put like on the driver's side they would draw like a square and it would say like hottie in a box or something.
Yeah.
But what I would do is I would just go to random cars and put a box around the driver's side and I would put Al Qaeda in a box. Which is an easy fix. I mean, you can wash it off with a squeegee, but it's also still like, you know.
Yeah, what's your payoff?
Just knowing
just
that
the idea
guy.
of somebody having to come out to their car to go to work in the morning and it just says Al Qaeda in a box was.
They're never going to drive away with that. They're just going to clean it.
If they're in a hurry.
It's funny to me.
Or if you do it when they're out and they got to drive home with it.
So we talked about this story a little bit yesterday as there was a warrant issued for the arrest of star NFL linebacker Von Miller. Well, he has now been arrested for assaulting his pregnant girlfriend at their high-rise apartment in Dallas. Third-degree felony charge of assaulting a pregnant person. Of course, Von Miller currently with the Buffalo Bills.
So assaulting a pregnant person is different than assaulting a person.
I mean, every one of these stories that I've read mentions it.
A cis person.
That's not what that means.
Oh.
You can be cis and pregnant.
Oh. In fact, I guess every
what are you confused by?
Pregnant person probably is cis.
That's offensive.
Is it? Can you be a...
Gay people can get pregnant.
Oh, that's right. I thought cis meant not trans. So it's also not gay?
Yeah. Cisgendered.
You can't just say normal, right? Because then that just makes those other people say that
You're
they're
otherizing
abnormal.
them. That's right. That's correct.
But wouldn't normal be just something that's over 50%? Or that majority?
No, I think you're
What if
cooking,
I'm
you're cooking right now. Let's let him go, Blake.
Majority gender.
I haven't said a word.
Yeah, so he's been arrested. He will be represented by Royce West.
I know that name.
Yeah, he's a famous legal eagle here in town. He's a state senator.
Well, that's weird.
Right? Officers arrived and found Von Miller's longtime girlfriend with minor abrasions on her left hand and bruising on her neck, injuries consistent with applied pressure to the neck. That is according to an arrest warrant affidavit.
All right, I have a state senator talk for you. This has to do with Cubes selling the team and legalizing gambling.
Yeah.
Because I thought I saw some stuff, and I want you to shed light on this because you know everything.
No.
So, like polls indicate, if there was a vote at the ballot box, gambling would be legal by like 60%, 70% of people would vote for gambling.
Okay.
Yet the state senators or state house or whoever makes the laws won't even bring it to they won't even allow it to be voted on because their big money interests say, no, don't do it. Is this all true so far?
I believe so, yeah.
Kind of understanding this as.
Yeah.
But those people are elected by people. Like, don't they have to do the bidding of who who elects them? Like, the majority of people want this.
Yeah, I can't recall what the particular issue that I saw somebody talking about a couple weeks ago, but it might have been when Ohio legalized marijuana and put abortion in their state constitution. I was listening to some political pundit that was like, yeah, this is why democracy is bad. Like, he just, it's the quote, quiet part out loud. Like, he's like, we can't let these morons vote on this stuff. Like, look what they're going to do. So, yeah, I don't know. The part that's confusing to me about it is I'm not exactly sure what money interests are being protected by not having gambling. That feels more like a moral play to me. The quote-unquote religious right influence. Like, because
there's a lot of money there, right?
Yeah, but there's no way it's as much as gambling. That's the part I can't really wrap my head around.
Yeah, because, like, the new Mavericks owners, they're really hardcore Republicans.
And they're into gambling. It's like their whole...
So they're probably lobbying hard for it.
Yeah, I would think so. And I think Cuban probably will as well. I think Cuban's going to be spending a lot of time in Austin over the next handful of years. I mean, he's basically said as much, right? Like, he actually has said that he wants to have, like, Vegas and Dallas. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it seems inevitable to me at some point.
Any chance Cuban's getting out? Because if you think about how when he sold broadcast.com, like, it was at just the right time. If he tried that 5 years later, he wouldn't have gotten any money for it.
Right.
Or at least nearly.
Like, is he reading the market type thing?
Like reading the NBA landscape, too. The new TV deal.
Very uncertain.
Player, yeah. The current local deals that are all blowing up.
Yeah. No, I mean...
Are you going to look at Cuban in 5 or 10 years and go, man, once again, the Cube's genius?
It's certainly possible, but I think the whole thing will hinge on legalized gambling. And a little bit more of sports news for you. We still don't exactly have full clarity on what exactly happened with Chicago Blackhawks player Corey Perry, but he has issued a statement. We were speculating yesterday that he had possibly slept with Connor Bedard's mom.
Yeah, that's all the rage.
Like their 19-year-old phenom.
And because it was like right after a mom's trip.
It was right after a mom's trip. They placed him on waivers. He was not claimed. And his statement says, quote, I would like to sincerely apologize to the entire Chicago Blackhawks organization, including ownership, management, coaches, trainers, employees, and my teammates. I would also like to apologize to my fans and my family. I feel embarrassed and I have let you all down. He continued, I have started working with experts in the mental health and substance abuse fields to discuss my struggles with alcohol.
We have put up a force field. You cannot question about that. First of all, mental health, brilliant.
Substance abuse, also good.
Right. Substance abuse is the old one.
Yeah, doesn't hurt.
But we've added mental health to fortify the...
It's a legacy throw-in.
Yeah.
Legacy throw-in.
But because, substance abuse, it's still like some people, whatever. But
I mean, it is a disease. But I feel like him putting this out there, like, throws the scent off of I might have nailed Connor Bedard's mom when I was hammered.
I'm a guy susceptible to a good addiction as much as anyone else. But it is odd to term something a disease that if I put you on a desert island and you have cancer, you're still going to have cancer if I come get you in a year.
Yeah,
And
I mean, it's a very, very tricky
the alcoholic on a desert island
Yeah,
and
no,
come
you're
get
right.
you in a year. Well, maybe you still are an alcoholic, and if you come back to
exactly
the real world.
I think that is the perfect way to describe it, is that and there are genetic factors, there are...
But you'll be living in a year.
You will be living in a year, but that doesn't mean that you won't still want it when you get back.
But you'd be snorting sand or whatever, like just to...
Yeah.
That's where you're licking
Hand
toads.
sanitizer.
That's where they learned to lick toads for to be hallucinogenic. Do you know about that, Blake? You ever heard about that?
Well, I know about the frogs, but no, I guess not.
So you know there is a frog you can lick that will make you hallucinate like you're on acid?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I mean.
I think what we're getting here is a confusion over the term
toad or
and
frog. What's the difference?
I don't
There's
actually. I don't actually
probably
know.
a great difference. One has antlers.
It's reindeer.
And our final story, do you guys recall, we talked about this maybe a year ago, that there's going to be a Universal Studios theme park in Frisco?
Mm-hmm.
It is going to be called Universal Kids Resort. They have announced the name. They have a logo. They have renderings. It will be the first destination park designed specifically for children. 100 acres. About 40 minutes north of Love Field. I'm pretty fired up about this, dude. Like, I feel like this is a great place to live if you have kids. Just in general, there's just so much cool to do if you have kids around here. Like, if you live in, like, Des Moines, like, what do you do with your 5-year-old?
The mall.
That's basically it?
I used to do the mall a lot when I was...
We do the mall a decent piece. Although even that is, like, fallen off a little bit because I feel like it's fallen off because of streaming. Like, the mall used to be a play where you'd go and you'd wrap an hour and a half around a movie before and after, and you'd spend the whole day there. But, like, we do movie nights on Friday nights at home now. Like, we'll probably do it tonight. We just make popcorn at home, which, by the way, as an aside, hadn't made popcorn in a long time. I don't really know how to do it.
You don't just do microwave?
Yeah, but I feel like I screwed it up.
Was it all burnt?
Yeah.
The popcorn button is deceiving. You can't listen to it.
That's what I tried.
It's too long. You got to go off a feel.
Well, yeah, you have to. You do have to listen, and when you
Yeah.
get 5 seconds between pops.
Yeah, there's the there's the big finale of Pops, and then once that starts to dwindle,
Subside.
you
Now
turn
you're
it
done.
off.
Okay.
Yeah.
My wife does it with oil and popcorn,
like the
like
stove?
on the stove. Yeah.
I might try that.
Did you ever get the Jiffy Pop thingy?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that is.
It's like a little pan. It's a pre-made
Oh,
little pan.
yeah,
and
yeah.
The foil on the
Yeah,
top just
yeah,
expands. I feel like that's still out there. Like at the if you go to Target, when you first walk in, there's like the $2 stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And you let your kid go hog wild, get 5 things in there for the stocking or something.
That's key. Yeah.
I think they sell it there. It's pretty cheap now.
But just back to my original point, though, like, movies are at the theater for, like, 2 weeks now. Like, we'll see a trailer for something, and, like, I'm like, I'd like to go take Nora to go see this movie. And then it's just on Apple TV or on Disney 10 days later. I'm like, okay, well, I guess we just won't leave the house ever.
Yeah.
But the Universal thing, I think that seems really cool to me.
I mean, I hate to be this guy, but movies are too expensive now. I mean, family of 4 going to the movies. What is that? $20 a ticket?
Yeah, our tickets to Napoleon the other night were $20.
$20 per ticket?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, that used to be a perfect little date. You can get sounds so old. 2 tickets and popcorn, drinks or whatever, $20-$25 to a high school kid. That's not a bad date.
Well, it was always like you'll pay that much for the popcorn and stuff because the tickets aren't that expensive.
Not anymore.
That's what I used to think.
Right. Now it's all on par.
Because I have to get popcorn.
We know.
What do you mean?
I've been to 100 movies with you.
What's wrong with having to get pop? I just feel like when I'm at a theater, I don't know why. If I'm watching a movie at home, I don't have to eat popcorn. But if I am in a theater, every time I see a movie, I will get popcorn.
Yeah, and I don't really do it when I go to the movies much, but I do like the feel of like creating it at home. Like I want Nora to feel like we're at a movie.
So all the lights are off?
Oh yeah.
Do you have like a movie room?
I don't have any rooms.
Some people have movie rooms, and I'm very envious of those people.
You got this though. It's pretty sweet.
This is pretty sweet.
Like a theater room?
Yeah.
That seems like
the recliners
just
and
absolute opulence to me.
Yeah.
That would be that's the peak. That and a kegerator.
What? Why?
I don't know. We were just talking about that a couple months ago.
Is that what we want in our new studio?
Yeah, so anybody comes in just gets a brew.
I think the Birmingham guys have a kegerator.
They definitely do.
It's probably sponsored, I would imagine.
It 100% is.
Okay, that would help.
Okay, there's your news.
Colt Troy Aikman. Hey, you want to sponsor our...
The Dumb Zone.
He's like, who are you?
Like.
I know Bob.
Subscribe.
That was a good news. You did once do a fantastic interview with Troy Aikman, though. I don't think we talk about that enough.
Just one, though.
But it was great.
Well, I think it was the only one I ever got, a one-on-one.
You had a one-on-one with Troy?
I guess we could just stack him up against your one-on-ones with Troy.
No, it's not.
Since you want to piss all over him.
No, I wanted to more
got
so
him in like a hotel lobby.
I was more so
It was
throwing
great.
it at Jake, saying you only did one good interview. That's what I meant. You're supposed to be on my side.
It's hard to it's just hard to keep track. Oh, am I standing by for Chappy now? Like at any second?
Yeah, I mean, I could play you some Dude Perfect until Chappy joins. If you
Sure.
want. So I was unaware that Dude Perfect was doing a broadcast until I think Al and Herbie were like, "Hey, by the way, Dude Perfect is on the alternate broadcast." Did you see the thing where push down on your remote twice?
Yeah. I wasn't aware of it until you texted us, but then I did hear them mention it.
I watched the whole game on my computer, so I don't even know what you're talking about.
What a
Push down
brag.
on your remote twice.
Well, they were just saying to find the alternate broadcast, just push down on your remote twice, and then because they have the Prime Vision or whatever.
Yeah,
Apple
the AWS
remote?
thing. Any remote, really.
Huh.
Yeah.
It's rough, man. I'm sure this is great for kids, and I'm trying to tiptoe that line of not just making a mockery of it, but it's horrible.
You don't mock Dude Perfect is one thing that we don't do here.
Well, the first time we did this, they were asking people to tweet, hashtag TNF Dude Perfect, and I thought it was funny that only one person did it. But they were flashing up all these kids across, they were watching, but
I did flip over a couple times, but I knew you were getting the audio. And I'm riveted by Herbie, so I can't leave that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very envious of the fact that they can do their game broadcast and you can see the game right there. Because we're doing the stream, of course. And I'm envious of the giant pile of money that somebody will put in. I'm sure someone, first of all, is paying them a giant pile of money.
Yeah.
Right? They're making $1 million just to do the game.
Sure.
And then they're saying, well, here's your budget on your set and all the bits you can do. And that's another whatever.
Well, they probably do it from their place.
They do, in Frisco.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah. I know the last time they did, because they got to have all their...
Because their set's badass. And
all their stuff, They
yeah,
gotta have
they
their
had food.
Their
and
trampolines. all their stuff.
So
I would. Can you set us up with a broadcast at their facility? Because I think that'd be amazing,
dude.
Don't you think it would be?
No chance.
We're so small potatoes now.
Yeah, what's in it for them?
Because I tried really, really hard, and that's probably the worst thing you've
even
ever
at the
put me
ticket.
through. Yeah,
trying to get us to do a live remote there.
Yeah, and this is like 5-6 years ago, and
when they were first starting,
it pained me.
Yeah,
and you were like, every day he'd come in, hey, got any news on the Dude Perfect front?
Yeah, it was.
I'm like, dude, I'm trying. Like I've sent 30 emails. Hey,
so I think people are familiar with their bit. They started the game by throwing a football out of a helicopter and catching it.
Of course they did.
Excellent.
That's their bit. And so they're just doing wacky stuff during the game. Like Seattle has the fish market, right, where they're throwing fish around. So they turned the game. They all were throwing fish to each other.
By the way, we never played that Chris Collinsworth audio. That was funny.
Which one?
Did we play that?
The Al Michaels?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that he went to go try to buy a fish.
Not Al Michaels.
Oh.
Chris Collinsworth.
Okay.
And Mike Tirico. Like he went to go try to buy a fish and thought it was $25.
Look for your stuff, Blake, and I'll find it.
Per pound, and he had to buy like $800 of fish.
Okay, I'm going to add this cool dude, and he can be a part of it. Hi, Chappy.
Hey there, how are you, Mike?
That's not good.
Blake's got to fix your audio.
Nice sunglasses.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Oh, there you are.
Hey, Pops.
Hey, Sonny. Hi, Dan.
You look nice.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Well, thank you.
You a little haircut?
Chappy. Sorry.
Mr. McDowell, how are you?
Doing great, man. What's going on?
Well, not a lot. Just was outside and had my toboggan and sunglasses on, so I ran in real quick. I saw Blake said join when I could, so here I sit. How about you boys?
It's Blake's fault we didn't talk to you last week. We were all ready. Even Jake was promoting Chappy, and then Blake just kind of forgot.
I don't think that's true. I think Chappy was hanging out with some of his buddies.
Yeah, that was actually, I was with a bunch of UPS guys telling lies. Everybody's lies get bigger every year.
Old war stories.
Yeah, they're
I thought everybody hated you at UPS.
Well, that's the union side.
Okay.
The management side, well, they probably hated me too. But, yeah, you generally stuck together on the management side. Nothing's the way it is anymore. So.
All right, so we had you on so that we could play Chris Collinsworth talking about when he went to the fish market in Seattle.
Well, I never buy fish, right? You're in the market, you say, okay, I'll buy some fish, and I'm going to take it home for Thanksgiving. So I go in there, and I see the thing, this big fish is there, and it says $35. I go, well, that's pretty good. That's about the same price as in a restaurant, right?
$34.99.
$34.99, right there it is. So I come out and I go, all right, I'll take two.
Right. $70?
I thought $72. $800. I was like, per pound.
Oh, keyword per pound.
Yeah, but you can't go back once you said you want two fish. They already got them loaded up.
Let me tell you who's not paying $800, even if they tell him it's $800.
Any of us here?
That guy.
Okay, Chappy for sure.
He's like, no.
But me, and I order fish all the time, but yes. If they somehow rang it up and goes, hey, it's $800, I'd be like, you know what?
Yeah, we'll put it back.
There's a misunderstanding here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely have to say, is my recording all right? Or?
Yeah, you're good.
You're fine.
I walked out of a place the other day ago that said it was $450 and I only had $4 in my pocket and I left.
It's theft.
So I doubt 800 would be in my wheelhouse. That was, I just haven't dialed in the post-pandemic prices yet.
I don't even know what that means, but sure.
Well, I mean, 2020, a lot of prices went inflationary and they haven't snapped back.
Hey, by the way, real quick before we get to the picks, how about that fourth-round quarterback?
Yeah.
Huh. Looks like we might have an MVP on our hands here, huh?
I tell you what, that was a good game last night. Let's see what happens the next 5 weeks, and I'm all on board with them.
Oh, okay, bandwagon.
Jake put money on the Cowboys to win the Super Bowl.
What's the odds?
It was like plus 600 or something.
I would entertain that. I'm getting a lot of feedback, but I guess I'll just have to deal with it because I'm looking through the mic and I have it on speaker. So
I got to tell you one thing. When they do win, I don't want to hear anything from you. I don't want to hear.
You'll probably have to go find me at an old folks' home when that happens.
See, that's the thing. Hater from day one. Hater.
Well, that's not true, son. I was a Cowboy. Hey, whatever somebody just did, it fixed it. So thank you. Maybe that was me, maybe not. I was a huge Cowboy fan in the 70s, 80s, 60s. Went to my first game in 65. I have so much Cowboy lineage lined up with my heritage.
You don't. No, get out of here. You don't. You're not getting. I'm gonna. Here's my foot. I'm kicking you off the bandwagon when you try to get on here in a month. You can't. You can't ride.
So not in any order, but they got the Eagles, they got the Bills, they got the Dolphins.
Dub.
Well, I got plus 810 over here on my site.
Jump on it.
That feels like
tasty.
That does feel like I'm getting good odds there. All right, let's go ahead. Let's have some
we
fun.
got 7 weeks left, Dan.
We got
How much is left?
Niners, Chiefs, Eagles, Ravens, and then Cowboys, and then Dolphins.
Oh, they don't play the Chiefs.
No, I'm saying this is.
Oh, okay.
I'm looking at the odds. The
Gotcha.
the best odds to win the Super Bowl. Detroit looks tasty too at plus 1,400.
Yeah, well, not after Dallas destroys them in Week 17.
I smell grease in the kitchen with Detroit. I can't figure out. Something doesn't look right the last couple of weeks.
What if the Bills put it together? 3,400. All right, sorry.
Whoa. Yeah, that's big.
That is nice.
All right, give us some
Wait,
picks.
don't cut me off. Don't cut me off. Yeah, can I say one other thing?
I'll never cut you off.
Okay. This weekend with this college is absolutely epic. I just love the way it lined up because the committee had a slam dunk, right? They put the 4 teams in that are 12-0. I mean, anybody could have done that. But, man, you're probably going to see a loss from one of these top 4 teams, right? Probably Oregon's going to beat Washington. Then you're going to have a lot of 11-1 teams saying, hey, where am I? Ohio State, Texas, Alabama if they beat Georgia. Anyway, very interesting, cool weekend for this. But
Louisville could easily beat Florida State. Easily.
I actually think they will. I mean, Florida State losing that quarterback last week, they were down 12-0 to Florida. They rallied back. But Brahms got those Cardinals running hard. So I'd be a little leery to it's only a 1.5. So the boys in the desert know it's going to be a tight race. Tonight's game is pretty dicey, because you could get a late back-end feed out of the Ducks and they cover the 10. I'm not betting on that game. Washington beat them already once, and that's been it for Oregon. Washington has looked spotty since Pennant got hurt or kind of banged up there that one weekend. Anyway, here I got two college, 3 pro.
Is there a scenario that we see possibly if Alabama wins, can they make the playoff and Texas doesn't?
Yeah.
Yeah, because their name's Alabama.
That will be very loud.
Yeah, and I mean, Texas's biggest win would have obviously been over Alabama.
At Alabama.
Alabama's biggest win would be over Georgia. So,
but still, the head-to-head thing
and the conference championship thing.
Yeah.
Well, there's 2 teams in the top 4 that are suspect to go down. I mean, it's not Georgia and it's not Michigan. I mean, why is Washington playing Oregon and Washington's 3rd in the country and Oregon's spotting them 10? That doesn't make any sense. The reason Florida is there because they didn't want to screw them when their quarterback got hurt, so they put him in because they're 12-0. Florida State could lose, to your point, son. One of those 2's losing, and that's when it's going to get interesting because there's 5 or 6 teams that says, where's my seat at this table? I've only got 1 loss. But here's my 5 picks. I'm going to go with Bama plus 5.5. Playing the Dogs. They both have vested interests. They both have similar outputs on defense and offense. I don't know who's going to win that game, but I like Bama circling around that 5.5. Number 2, I like Iowa with the 22 points. The over-under on that game's only 35.
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit yesterday. It's absurd.
That. Okay, so last year the score was 29-6. So, if Iowa could just get a garbage touchdown somehow, they could very easily stay in those 22 points because points are going to be tough to come by. The Wolverines are going to win, but, so that's my 2nd pick. My 3rd one, you know what? I'm going to take the Packers at home in 6 points. And, strangely enough, this is the first time Mahomes has ever even played at Lambeau. But Green Bay's had rest since Thanksgiving. I was not a Love on board guy, and he's kind of looking a little different here lately. But that's going to be a scrappy game. I see the Chiefs winning it, but I think the Pack might hang around there a little bit with those 6. So that's my 3rd pick. 4th, I like the Broncos in 3 going into the Texans, and we know that C.J. Stroud's having a hell of a year, but. Man, Peyton's kind of got rust turned around, and that defense, ever since that 70 burger was laid on them, they've been kind of hanging around. They've won 5 in a row. They're actually You like that 70 burger, little intro there, but I'm gonna take the Broncos plus 3.5. I noticed that on some of these, shows in the afternoon. They say a burger. I'm like, where'd you get a burger? You said that 70 burger.
Just
I
get
don't
to
know. I like
get to the rest of the picks.
Okay, dadgummit. Okay, here's the last one. This is my lock of the week, which that doesn't really seem to have mattered the last 11 weeks, but I'm gonna take the Rams at home, laying 3.5 against the Browns. The Browns have been on the West Coast for 2 weeks. They just stayed out there. So this is really DTR and the Browns versus Stafford. And Stafford looked good last week. He's healthy. He was slinging the ball all over the yard. They ran for 3 rushing touchdowns. They looked good last weekend, and they're still in the hunt. Seattle losing last night. Denver running close. Seattle, so I got a little tangled up there, but I like the Rams at home, laying the 3.5. So that is my lock of the week.
Chappy's Lock of the Week. No puppet.
You like that?
And for you, Dan, it is exactly 2.5 months today by the date from the Super Bowl, February 11th.
Okay.
February 11th.
Okay.
So we got a lot of football left there, Mr. McDowell.
What were we? Did we have a Chappy story we were talking about the other day?
Probably a damn lie.
Yeah, I don't.
Do you remember Blake?
What it was,
we were like,
though.
Jake, you need to remember to bring that up. Damn it!
I don't.
All right. Well, we're saving that then.
It might have been the time that your best friend was throwing his crabs on you.
Yeah, that's a true story, and they got on me.
All right.
Or was
So wait.
We'll let you go.
Let me leave you with this, Dan. Let me tell you what, because you can pick those crabs off and flick them. I was down at South Padre. And once those
Was this like
crabs
you're in
get on you-
college or college age? I don't
Yeah.
know if you went to college.
Yeah. No, I went for 10 years. I got a 4-year degree.
Classic.
You think that's funny, don't you?
That's a
I got
classic
kicked out
dad joke.
twice.
Did your dad ever use the? My dad used to always tell me how he was in the marching band. He played piano.
Okay.
I'm
Well,
glad
my
that
dad
Chappy
and Mom
Chappy
were
loved.
pretty-
Yeah.
My dad and Mom were salt to the earth, and after the second time I got kicked out, they said, "You know what? You're on your own now. You're going to pay for your own tuition." That's when I started doing good. But that's a whole nother story. But back to that crab story, Dan. I'll tie it up.
I wasn't
tell you
expecting
what.
you to tell the whole thing.
Chief, I got these crabs thrown, little old bitty crab. Of course, they multiply like rabbits, and pretty soon they get down there in your junk, and they burrow in. So I go to the doctor. This is 1980, and I say, "Hey, what is this?" And he says, "You're going to need a prescription." I said, "What?" He said, "Quail shampoo." All right, no big deal. Gives it to me. I go down in Fort Worth at the time, and I hand the ticket thing over to the girl about my age, and I went to high school with her, and she's going, "Look what I'm feeling. You got the crabs." Son of a... So she went and told a bunch of people, and they put it all on Facebook. Oh, Facebook wasn't around in 80.
Yeah.
You didn't even have a cell phone in 80.
Okay. Yeah. Once we get to that point, we're probably.
And you know what? You know where I live right now?
Yeah,
Back in 1980, nothing but a field.
Yeah.
Nothing but a field back then.
This
Pops.
is all a field.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And, I know you can aware of this, Dan, but like you were at a bar or some event around that time, 80, I was 22. You lose a girl's number at a bar, that's it, dude. Unless you run into her again somewhere. You ain't finding their number. There's no, what I'm saying?
You just leave
You're
with
like,
her crabs.
Yep.
All right, Pops.
Was the Chappy story about his motorcycle somehow?
I don't recall.
We're gonna have to revisit that. I think we're gonna end on the crab high though, Blake.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think you should. And there's always plenty of material to cover just on the fly.
See ya, Pops.
All right. See y'all later.
All right.
Bye. See you, Sonny. Bye,
There he
guys.
goes. That's
Bye, Blake. Bye, Dan.
Bye, Chappy.
Bye.
I knew you'd enjoy the crab note.
Oh yeah. And I was hoping that Blake would now pick it back up with Dude Perfect, but he's.
We could play it Monday.
How long have we been going
Pete
today?
Carroll, Mike McCarthy have met 8 times.
Wow.
Every single game, the home team has won.
Wow.
You like that note?
Wow.
From Dude Perfect?
I like the emphasis that he put on that, yes.
What analysis.
So they're obviously bit men, but they're huge Cowboys fans. So in most of these games, they're just tossing basketballs and trying to bounce them off the wall into the goal. They were actually like watching the game because they're such big Cowboys fans. And so I want to play a couple clips of you of just Dude Perfect watching the Cowboys game, and I just want to see how long you can take it.
Here we go, 2nd and 10.
Out.
If you tweet us, tell Cody to stop complaining.
Attention.
Thank you.
I got cotton ball in my
What are you calling here, Gare? What do you want? You want to throw the
Gare?
ball?
They need to throw the ball here because they didn't get any yardage there. For sure. It's Gallup, guys.
Touchdown, thanks so much.
Fergie?
It was almost Fergie, and then it was almost CD.
Well, Fergie knows that it's supposed to be Gallup's TD.
I can't.
So,
Got it.
Nope.
Got
I'm
it.
not too worried about it.
Nope.
He knew that. He goes, I can't catch this. This is Gallup's TD.
Okay, I got sweat coming in the eye. I'm just going to wipe it.
Fine.
Real quick.
There's a guy named Sweat there.
Yeah, I
Fergie.
Yeah, Fergie. I do think that's
Can we
what they
just
call
watch?
it.
Play. Let's just enjoy.
Where are they from? Up to 10?
Let's enjoy what MVP play is like.
Heartbroken over here.
What?
Mesh concept. Run him the drags.
Oh, shut up.
Run him the drags, baby. Good mesh concept. Rip it, 4.
Run it, 4. That's my number.
You gotta go for it.
Yeah, you got to kick it. You got to go for it.
You think?
Let's go for it. I would have liked to hurdle there, but it's cool.
I'm going to say take the timeout to preserve time. This is interesting.
Is it actually 4th and 3? It felt closer to me.
It is.
I think it's a pretty full 3.
Well, here's the thing. What do you do here? I mean, you can get. It sounds
Dude,
like
please
an
turn this
easy
off.
3 points.
What if we got Garrett to join us for our stream?
I can't do
I mean,
this.
at the worst,
I'm serious, dude.
Seattle's starting their own drive inside the 5.
You could back them up on their drive.
That's why I think I put.
Yeah, but then all they got to do is get the ball back. All they got to do is get in the field goal tie
4
game.
is his
I like
number.
taking a lead, hopefully in the halftime here.
I don't think
You want to lead at halftime?
They're going for it.
I don't think field goals win you this game.
I agree.
Cowboys settled in the red zone already. I'm rolling
I'm
the dice.
still
clearly
pretty
a high-scoring
confident I
affair.
could kick your ass. Don't ever play that again.
What kind of bits?
Rip it, 4. Rip it, 4.
What kind of bits we have? You got a lot of audio. Let's see.
I couldn't believe it.
What kind of bits did
Just,
they do during the game? Because I saw them like cooking or something.
What?
Were they or no?
Yeah,
Did they have a food-based challenge?
Yeah, let's do.
Do we do on our stream a challenge, like a Dude Perfect-ish challenge? We'll
No.
call it the Dude Perfect
No,
challenge.
we don't. We just watch the game.
You asked what were they eating?
Repeat down. You gonna eat that sushi?
You can have one. I'm going to eat the other one.
Repeat down. You gonna eat that sushi?
You can have one.
Well, it had a little
That
sushi.
is awesome.
Let's see.
This is your fault, Dan.
When the Cowboys got in the end zone, it was.
I'm not cheering for them to score a touchdown, the Seahawks. If they do score a touchdown, I'd like it to be Charbonnet. Yeah.
Fantasy football.
I mean, I'm playing against CD. He's already got a tud. Yep. I'm not saying let's cancel it out, but it'd be nice to have some points on this side of the board.
Just a little tud.
Just a tud.
Just a tud.
I can't do this.
He's eating sushi. He's watching tuds. He's rooting for Charbonnet.
One of their games,
which I was earlier in the season. Of course, he scored 0 touchdowns.
Yeah.
As you may know, because he scored his first of the year last night.
One of their games was they had a
Doug
bowl.
Walker finals, by the way.
A bowl on their head.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Is that the one you vote for?
Not this year.
But you did.
I did.
Okay, I could
think
never.
I think
I
I put
can't
him
even.
third.
I don't even know the bit.
He didn't want to vote
Like my
because
own bit.
now the name next to him is Dumb Zone. Like that's why he stopped voting. That makes
In
me
no
s-
small part.
Makes me
He's
sad.
not totally wrong.
Oh, when you're Jake Kemp from the ticket?
Yeah, that sounds
Looks
a
a
lot
little-
better.
Well, that's what I told you guys, and you're like, no, it stands out.
It's fine at Jamie Newberg's college class, but to put it on a Doak Walker ballot.
Yeah,
just
but to
feels-
put it on a media pass at a Colorado game or something.
We're just gonna have to. We're pot committed now. We got to stick with it.
One of their games was they had to toss eggs up in the air and break them on this little platform above them and try to catch the yolk on their head
That's
because the
really
bowl
cool.
was on their head.
Yeah.
they were trying to catch eggs.
Get away from my eggs.
But-
Stealing eggs. Hey, you cannot steal eggs. Oh, that was in my face. Do I have any in my thing?
Well, you did, Kobe, but you keep
that was
tilting
important.
that. Guys, every time you look up, he's right. You lose all your eggies.
No way.
Yes.
Eggies. Get out backwards.
Ty is in the lead.
Yes.
Eggies.
Can we be done for the day?
I got a few more things.
I
I
don't
wanted.
think I can exist.
I wanted
after
to.
this.
I wanted to sneak this into our Cowboy breakdown, but the Cowboys. I don't know if you know this. They have a pretty rough schedule coming up.
Yeah, it's tough. I
Hey,
can't
guys,
wait to hear
the
what
deal
Garrett
is
thinks.
This starts a 5-game nastiness for the Cowboys.
Yeah, they popped that Cowboy schedule.
That's fine, though.
Earlier.
I mean, if you don't win this one, you got to win.
They've been so good.
Let's not go there.
You got either go 1 seed.
Guys, stop giving up on them early.
There you go. There's some good push.
I believe Garrett was trying to say if you don't win this one, then you're going to have to win some of the other ones.
Yeah. Yeah, expert analysis. Have they ever thought about one of them talking at a time? Is that ever an option?
Zach Charbonnet with nowhere to go. Picks up one.
Hey, do you guys think Dan Quinn and the boys make some defensive adjustments?
Here's what I like. So far this season, I think it's fair to be disappointed as a Cowboys fan at this point in the game. So far, the defense has won us a lot of games.
Guys, look at that stat. Look at that stat real quick.
What?
Thrown at 6 times.
Yeah, they're
Caught
attacking
5. 137 yards against 2 TDs.
Sure.
And this is a guy that just made history last week.
Yeah.
Shows you that stats don't matter.
Well, here's the good news. This week, the offense has a chance to prove why we are a Super Bowl team.
Do you want to take your bet back? You want to cancel that money?
No, he's right.
The offense showed why we're a Super Bowl team. What is his point? Like, Bland was getting cooked. So they put the stat up there, and he's like, that's why stats don't matter? What is he saying? Why is he getting money to do this?
Just a good route. I mean, if you have a linebacker on number 3, I'm
Brandon
probably
Cooks.
throwing the number 3 a lot.
Great pickup there, too, by Smith.
You like blitz pickups with Dude Perfect?
Yeah, mesh concepts, blitz pickups, yeah. Just a couple of X's and O's nerds.
You think they know who Drew Pearson is?
Not a chance.
No, I got a trivia
Of course
question.
they do.
I can't look at it.
Trivia question.
Can't look at
Corey,
you.
who was the first great 88? Not Cody Jones.
I know that.
I don't want you to answer. You were at Shield. Wow. I know.
Hey,
I know.
hey, he was a DB, but he wasn't.
No. Dude, y'all are thinking of
Ty. That's not where I'm going.
Oh, no?
Guys, I don't think either of y'all are going to get this right.
I got you.
Check down. Got him. Got a boy.
Corey and I did not grow up Dallas fans, so
I have no idea.
we're talking Smart Mike.
No,
we're not.
I was going Michael Irvin. No. That's not the original 88.
That's not the original 88.
That's
great. I told you
He
that.
said Dez.
I told you that wasn't going to be. What's the answer?
It was my question.
Go back even to Roger. Go back
Dude,
to
I
Roger.
can't do this.
Saw back the Hail Mary. The original
Yes.
Hail Mary was Drew Pearson. Did he
Drew
push off?
Pearson
Sure.
is
Did
the
they call
original
it?
88.
Wow.
Drew Pearson, he got it.
One of them did.
You got tired head?
Yes, dude. I want to stop
I played
playing.
you 2 minutes of audio. They did this for 4 quarters.
I don't understand it. You know, I'm happy for them that they're getting paid. I don't get it though. I don't understand how they're getting money to do whatever it is that we're listening to right now.
How many downloads
I
did
guess
they
I'm just
get
jealous.
per video? Yeah. Let me take a look here.
They would comment on the game, maybe tell you what play they wanted the Cowboys to run a little mesh in the red zone. But I would say like a pretty big percentage of their broadcast is just yelling, like just reacting to something and then just.
Let's go, baby! Hey! Come on!
Hey, absolutely. That's for Coach Prime. What did you just do? For my guy.
No puppet.
Oh, Jake was.
Here we go. Come on, Fergie.
No puppet.
Welcome to Hurdle Town.
No puppet.
Jake invented yelling during a Cowboys stream.
And now these guys are taking your bit and making millions.
That's right. How could you not monetize it?
Yeah, I don't know, Dan.
Dak said not today.
Has not missed a field goal yet.
Dude, turn.
Wait, let me do something real quick.
You watch your in our ears telling us to save the stat, and I refuse.
Family on that way. You guys are Cowboys fans.
Like, there's such high energy. They're this all game long.
It's a fun game.
Full youth bastard.
Yep.
I like it.
People are turning off this podcast right now.
Okay, our Cowboys Rams live stream. We got 7.5 thousand views. 7.7 thousand.
Marky, hurry up! Welcome to Random Battle. Where today.
Oh wait, sorry. I'm just going to the Dude Perfect page. Let's just see their. Should we do their last video?
Yeah.
Survivor Games. Oh, that was 4 months ago. Well, anyway, it's still a good gauge, I guess. 9.7. Oh, so we had 7.5.
Oh.
Wait a second here. What's M mean? M is million?
What does K mean?
9.7 million.
Yeah.
What was that, Tyler? Holy hell.
What's your favorite seabird?
All right.
Guys, you got a favorite seabird?
You guys have a great weekend.
What about
my favorite seabird is it's South Carolina.
Guys, okay, serious question.
The Cox, my bro.
Is the best Cowboy ever of all time?
Best Cowboy of all time?
Wait. Ever of all time.
Yeah, ever of all time. Go. Who you got?
Playmaker.
Dan Campbell.
What about this?
Which current Cowboy has the best nickname?
Turn it off, dude. All right, that's it. Have a good weekend.
More.
We're done. We're done.
Here we go.
Adios, mofo.